So the type of thickness would vary depending on where the laminate is being laid. If it's for a high footfall traffic area such as the downstairs, living room, hallway, kitchen, I would normally recommend going from anywhere between 10 to 12 mil. It's just a more sturdier board. It's more resilient against moisture, spillages, scratches, etc. And it has a much sort of stronger click lock mechanism, so that's the laminate I would recommend. Now if it was going in a less sort of footfall traffic area such as an upstairs bedroom, then there is really no need for you to go anything above sort of 8 mil. Again, less footfall. It's still just as good as a 12 mil, but not as sturdy, not as firm, and probably not as strong of a click system. So warmth, I think a 12 mil floor in a laminate would definitely hold heat and warmth a lot better in the long run. But I think an 8 mil or a thinner board would probably heat up quicker than a 12 mil board. But yes, in equality, I think both of them would be an MDF core based material, so it won't make a great deal of difference. They're not as warm as carpets, but 100% warmer than tiles. Laminate usually is cheaper and more cost effective. It's practical and easier to sort of upkeep and maintain, and definitely cheaper at times, but it depends on the type of laminate it is. So an AC5 laminate, it usually ranges from sort of £18 a square metre going all the way up to about maybe potentially £30 a square metre, depending on the pattern, the style, the finish, you know, whether it's textured, whether it's embossed. So when you compare it to a carpet, again, that really depends on whether it's real wool, whether it's polyprop, etc. I would say they cost about the same, but if you go for a cheap sort of entry-level laminate, it's pretty much the same price as a cheap-ish entry-level carpet. When you book a consultation with us, all we do is we pop out to your home. You can pick a list of samples that you'd like to see in your space. So if you look around me, we've got samples all around us. So what we do is we literally grab these, put them into the car, bring them over to your home. We can put them on the floor, see how they look with your decor, interior style, etc., and see whether the colours match with the flow and the theme you want to create. If the subfloor is exposed, we can also assess the subfloor, so we can put a laser leveler down just to see whether there's height variance, you know, from one corner of the room to another. On top of that, we obviously take your measurements to make sure that you've got enough coverage, and then if any prep is required or whether you require any finishing trims, etc., we make a full sort of detailed list of what you need. So then when we're back at the showroom, we can formulate a quotation for you that's itemized, clear and transparent. So typically what happens is we get you guys booked in the calendar once we have confirmation from you, and our fitters are usually with you between sort of 8 and 9:30 in the morning, depending on traffic of course. Slightly later, maybe on weekends. Now when we arrive, we obviously don't expect the house to be completely empty, because half of the houses that we do attend to are occupied and there's obviously furniture around. So what we do is we do kindly ask that in advance that you can clear any sort of valuables or anything that's breakable, etc., out of the way, so the job can go as smoothly as possible without any accidents, etc., and obviously your safety and our fitters' safeties. So since we've got a heated warehouse, you don't really need to worry about collecting your goods in advance. We bring everything to you on the day, so you pick the product that you like, and when the day comes to laying the floor on the calendar and on your fitting date, we'll make sure we've got everything ready at hand to carry out the job. Now when the fitters do arrive, they will ask you what sort of direction you'd want the floor to be run at, you know, whether it would like to be laid sort of vertically, horizontally, or maybe at like an angle. Obviously if it's like an herringbone, they'll ask you where you want the sort of center line to fall. So if you're having like a hallway and an open plan kitchen diner, or going into like a living room, you might want to be able to see that sort of seamless center line right at the front as soon as you open the door. But that's down to the customer and how they want to go about having the floor fitted, aesthetic wise.